the light, I found you. I must speak with you at once.
Alright, good morning ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick it off with the Prot Paladin today. See how it's doing in the tanking environment. As you can see, I've got this guy that's following me around, wanting to give me the first quest. Just created this guy, have not played the Prot Pally at all on the Legion Alpha currently, so I wanted to see how it does in comparison to the other three tanks that I have currently done, which would be the Brewmaster, the Death Knight, and then the Vengeance Demon Hunter. All of those guys are doing really, really well right now. So, with that, we'll go ahead and get started with doing some of the talents. Or we'll go over the main abilities and we'll hit the talents and then we'll get right into the quests. And then, being a tank, hopefully we'll get some good dungeon queues really quick. So starting it off, you've got Ardent Defender. This is basically doing the same thing. It's an instant 2-minute cooldown, and it reduces all damage you take by 20% for 8 seconds. While Ardent Defender is active, the next attack that would otherwise kill you would instead bring you to 12% of your maximum health. So just an activated cheat death like it is on live, guys. Avenger Shield, exactly the same. The only difference that this ends up doing is it increases the effect of your next Shield of the Righteous or Light of the Protector by 20%. Avenging Wrath, we got this as Prot still, which is really nice. I thought they were going to end up removing this, but they brought it back. And it increases all damage and healing you deal by 35% for 20 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. Good stuff right there. Blessing of Freedom, places a blessing on a party or raid member, granting immunity and movement. Same thing as live, guys. This is same as live. Blessing of Protection's the same as live. Basically, your normal bop, you're going to put the shield on them, and they aren't going to take any damage, but they it looks like they can still attack while they end up doing it. But this is just going to end up stopping physical attacks. So if they're getting beat up by another mob, you can toss it on them and go. Same bop as usual. Blessing of Sacrifice. Sac is exactly the same also. 3-minute cooldown. Throw it on a person that's taking damage and transfers 30% of that damage to yourself for 12 seconds. Cleanse Toxins. Basically all you do is you can remove poisons and disease effects. That's all there is to it. It's really interesting that they're giving tanks back these cleansing spells. They did not have them, from what I understand, at the beginning of the alpha.
Light, I found you. I must speak with you.
Consecration's still here, guys. Consecrates the land beneath you, causing holy damage over 9 seconds. It does look really cool compared to what it was on live. Absolutely amazing. It just drops this holy light down from the heavens, and it looks really good. Divine shields here. It's kind of gotten a little bit of a change, not really. But there you go. That's supposed to be your big cooldown now. All damage and spells for 8 seconds. I don't know if this drops threat, but we will test it. Divine Steed. Basically, for 8 seconds, you can end up moving around like this. It's not going to stop your blocking or attacking. You can still attack and do it, but it's also usable indoors. So this is what they decided to give us on a 1-minute cooldown for our lack of mobility. This thing's going to be a little bit on the awesome side to end up using, guys. Just because before, if you played one live or any time before, our mobility sucked, and it's good to see this. And yes, I do play a Prot Holy Paladin on live. Is it my main? No, but I do love playing it. Flash of Light, just a quick heal. Guardian of the Ancient Kings. Empowers you with the Spirit of Ancient Kings, reducing all damage you take by 50%, and that looks amazing compared to what it used to. It actually used to have this guy pop off to the side. It's what it does on live, and they channel into you, but turning you into the Guardian, that's awesome. Hammer of Justice, just another stun. Well, our main stun, and basically you just hit him with a hammer and they daze out, spinning in circles. Hammer of the Righteous. Looks like this took over Crusader Strike also, the way it's read out. Hammer's the current target for physical damage. While you're standing in your consecration, Hammer of the Righteous also causes a wave of light that hits all other targets within 8 yards for holy damage also. Excellent piece here. I like the way that they, got rid of Crusader Strike and just made it to where Hammer ended up doing the job that everything else did. Let's see, Hand of Reckoning. This is your taunt. That might be helpful to have on the bars. Judgment, it's going to do the same thing. Lay on Hands just heals you for your maximum health or a friendly target, whichever you decide to end up casting this on. Light of the Protector is new. It's instant. It's a 15-second cooldown. Call down the light to heal you for 25% of your missing health. That's a pretty nice heal. 15-second cooldown on that too. So, seems a lot better than the Word of Glory mechanic that we did end up having. You've got Rebuke. This is just your interrupt. Redemption's your res. Shield of the Righteous is your active mitigation. Basically the same thing on live, and this is going to work with your mastery. Slam the target with your shield, causing pretty good holy damage and reducing damage you take by 42% for 4.5 seconds. Awesome stuff here. Grand Crusader, when you avoid a melee attack or use Hammer of the Righteous, you have 15% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Avenger Shield. Awesome. Always good to see these resets, especially on Avenger Shield. That just means even more damage. Heart of the Crusader, passive, increases your mounted speed by 20%. This does not stack with other movement speed increasing effects, so that's still in the game, same as live. Mastery, Divine Bulwark. Increased damage reduction from your Shield of the Righteous, so your active mitigation by 17%, and increase your chance to block melee attacks by 34%. Also increases your attack power by 34%. Good stuff. And then the final ability here is Redoubt. Judgment, critical strikes give you a charge of Shield of the Righteous. That's pretty nice also, guys. You get that crit on there, get an extra deal of your active mitigation. I want to see what this uptime on the Shield of the Righteous due to this play is going to be. Looks pretty good. Quick look at talents here. Just real fast, 15, First Avenger. Passive increases the damage of Avenger Shield by 100%, increases the chance its remaining cooldown to be reset by abilities and talents by 100%, but now it only hits one target. So this is kind of like the glyph that we've got on live. They just baked it into a talent. Hand of the Protector. Replaces Light of the Protector. Instant. Calls down a light to heal a friendly target for 27% of the target's missing health. 16-second cooldown. So they increased the cooldown by 1 second, but they made it to where it will heal for 2% more on a friendly target, not yourself. I don't see to where that's going to be useful at all for a tank trying to keep itself up. Unless you're really off tank kind of deal. Consecrated Hammer. Passive. Hammer of the Righteous always gains a damage bonus from Consecration. It no longer has a cooldown. I took this one just because it seemed to play out a little bit better than the rest. Level 30. Holy Shield is on level 30 now. This is a great ability. I love this thing on live. It's passive. Increases your block chance by 10% and allows you to block spells. And your successful blocks deal holy damage to your attacker. Blocking spells and reducing that spell damage is always the best way to go. I don't see why you'd end up doing anything else, but these do end up having a good competition. We'll see how it plays. Passive Guardian's Light's passive increases the healing from Light of the Protector by 20%. And then you've got Last Defender. Passive, each enemy within 8 yards reduces the damage that you take by 3%. This effect has diminishing returns. The diminishing returns part is the only part that kind of worries me on this. But still, this is pretty nice. This is going to be, if you are the ad tank, having to pick up. Good morning, John. But if you're the ad target, this is definitely the piece that's going to really help make you shine. And I guess this would be more for boss tanking. So, again, let's see how this plays out, guys. It's still alpha and it's testing, but I'm sticking with Holy Shield. I got to. 45, Fist of Justice. It's no longer a different spell. It's passive. Its Judgment reduces the remaining cooldown of Hammered Justice by 10 seconds. I took this just for the questing side of it. You got Repentance. It's doing the same thing. Usable against demons, dragonkin, giants, humanoids, and undead. And basically, it's just a CC. It'll put them down for a bit, and you'll end up going on to whatever. That's it. It's just a CC, guys. Binding Light's just an AoE stun, basically. It's going to make him dizzy. If anything other than holy damage hits them, though, it will break the CC. 60, Blessing of the Spell Warding. Basically what this does is turn Blessing of Protection. Instead of it just being physical damage on Blessing of Protection, this swaps it to spell damage. So there's an interesting gameplay here. If you're off tanking and let's say you've got a heavy fight. I just put out the Il'gynoth raid video a couple days back, and it does an I-beam. This spell warding deal would probably end up maybe helping. I don't know if it causes them to drop threat still, but if you threw this on the tank that's currently tanking them with the I-beam, they would take no damage from this if it works. I mean, that's the main thing, if it doesn't drop the threat still. So something to think about. That changes the gameplay of Blessing of Protection. Well, exactly 180 degrees, guys. It's the exact opposite. Instead of physical, it goes spells. Then you got Blessing of Salvation. Yes, it's making its way back. It's kind of neat. Places a blessing on a target party or raid member. Temporarily removing all threat to the target, causing all additional threat generated to be transferred to you. So they changed it up just a tiny bit, and it looks alright. But, come on. You can see it right here. Ret Aura has made its return. This was the ideal thing, at least back in BC, to end up always having your tank running Ret Aura, unless you had an actual Ret Pally, or and then you could end up running the Devo Aura. But right now, Ret Aura is back, passive. You deal a very small amount of holy damage to any enemy whose melee attack strikes a non-tank party or raid member. They did change it so it's not whenever it hits you. So if it hits somebody else, basically it's going to help you generate threat. Level 75, Bastion of Light, instant 3-minute cooldown, immediately grant 3 charges of Shield of the Righteous. So if you're really looking at a long cooldown, long phase to where you need to end up keeping that active mitigation up, this will end up working. But on a 3-minute cooldown, it's going to have a very tough perspective to go off of. Crusader's Judgment, passive. Judgment has a 15% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on Avenger's Shield. More Avenger's Shield means more damage, but it also means, what was the other thing that it ended up reducing here? Right here, Grand Crusader. No, that's resetting Avenger Shield. I've got something else here that ends up playing into this playstyle. And then the other thing's Blessed Hammer. Replace a Hammer of the Righteous. Throws a Blessed Hammer that spirals outward, doing holy damage, and then causing them to deal 15% less damage to you on their next auto attack. So the next auto attack after they take the damage will end up being less. This seems good if you're doing, again, if you're doing the trash tanking style, I guess you'd say, if you're picking up all the ads. This looks like it would probably be the better deal to end up slowing that initial damage off. 90, Aegis of Light. It's channeled. This seems really weird, but it looks like it might be a good raid buff. 5-minute cooldown. Channels an Aegis of Light that protects you and all allies standing within 10 yards behind you for 6 seconds, reducing all damage taken by 20%. So if you watched the Halls of Valor and the Halls of Valor video, there's a second to the last boss and you pick up the shield. I'm guessing this is basically doing the same thing as that boss. Just anyone that's behind you when you end up activating it is going to not take any damage, so kind of a cool deal. Yeah, kind of like the Crusader in Diablo 3, I guess, with that swirling hammer. Judgment of Light. Passive. Judgment now applies Judgment of Light to the target, causing the next 40 successful attacks against the target to heal the attacker for a very minimal amount, but this effect can only occur once per second on each target. This Judgment of Light, I reviewed it on the Holy Paladin also, and it just seems really neat. Just having that extra healing going out, it's almost kind of like the Battle Protector deal, but you're putting a debuff on the mob itself. So it seems cool. We'll play with that one instead. And then Consecrated Ground. Guys, this is what people have been looking for all the time, but we wanted it on Holy, not Prot. Passive. Up to 6 allies standing within your consecration receive healing every 1 second, and enemies within your consecration have 50% reduced movement speed. This is exactly what we wanted for Holy, and it's been talked about for a long time about having Consecrate heal in some way. Well, here it is, but it's on Prot. It's not on Holy, unless they've done a revision to Holy after the last alpha build, and I haven't checked it out yet. So, something I'm going to have to go back and look, but this is awesome. They finally ended up listening after like 6-7 years. Next one, level 100, Righteous Protector. Passive, Shield of the Righteous reduces the remaining cooldown on Light of the Protector by 3 seconds. I went with that one because, well, Shield of the Righteous, yeah, you're going to be using it all the time. It's your active mitigation, and then the cooldown of Light of Protector is only 15 seconds to begin with, so this is just going to let you keep more active mitigation up and more healing. Knight Templar. Passive, reduce the cooldown of Divine Steed by 50% and reduces all damage taken while mounted on your Divine Steed by 20%. This is basically turning it into your 30-second cooldown that you would use on live. I can't think of the name right now. But it's basically going to give you extra movement, and it's also going to give you 20% damage reduction. So this was a close second, guys. I was really thinking about doing this one. In fact, I might still, let's go with it, just for the simple fact the movement speed alone is going to be worth it. Get us through the quest a little faster. And then Final Stand. Passive, reduces the cooldown of Divine Shield by 50%. And when you use Divine Shield, you also taunt all targets within 15 yards for 8 seconds. So it's a mass taunt, plus changes it from 5-minute cooldown to 2.5-minute cooldown. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome right there. Alright, so speaking of divine mounts or whatever, we're going to grab a mount here and talk to the guy that's following me ever so creepily right there behind me. Let's see. Gather Travert and Auric Trueheart, then meet Lord Maxwell Tyrosus at Crassus Landing. Get this party started and see just how this Prot Pally's doing. I'm really interested, guys, because The Vengeance Demon Hunter is really fun. The Brewmaster Monk is still on the rough side for the gameplay. I think they're actually doing better in live, and a lot of it has to do with that loss of guard and how close the spheres are. Again, it's alpha. They may change some of this stuff. But what you're really looking into is, you know, overall gameplay. And I mean, if you enjoy that stressful gameplay that you're basically sweating bullets of trying to survive every single time, then it's going to be the gameplay for you, but not for me. Blood TK is extremely overpowered right now also. So with those three down, we'll see how Prot Pally fares, and then I plan on doing Prot Warrior real soon also. From there, I'll probably end up making a tanking video just to see how they're comparing in Alpha for live. So something to keep an eye out if you like doing any tanking at all.
Need help? Or the Alliance?
Alright. Let's see, where's it at? Protection. An ancient Verkal saga. Let's try this again. An ancient Verkal saga speaks of a shield crafted by Tyr himself. During the Winter Scorn War, it was used to expose Loken's lies to the Verkal and convert many to Tyr's cause. The final resting place of the shield was lost to time, but rumors point to one who might know the final chapter of its story. Alright. Cool. Truth Guard. So we're looking at the shield. And it's unique. It's an offhand, obviously. Grants the Eye of Tyr ability, which unleashes a burst of light from your shield, weakening nearby enemies. Cool. And you've also got Oathseeker, which is a sword. Well, let's get after this thing, guys. Let's not play around. I want to get a... hopefully we can get a couple dungeons in if people are active this morning. Gotta go find Auric Trueheart. Standing right next to me. And again, I'm not going to read any of this because it's constantly changing. I don't want to end up giving away too much. You know, I keep the lore or the spoilers down for people that just might want to see the quest. So, Jan, how are we doing this morning?
What's on your mind? Safe travels.
Alright, portal to Wormrest Temple, and then we gotta go to Shield Hill. All these extra portals, you won't need any mounts soon. They'll just take you straight to where you need to be. Port you there via instance. And... what? It says usable indoors. I'm trying to use it indoors and it won't let me do anything. Lies!
It's too far away.
Tell me ground mounts aren't usable here. We've got to find him at Shield Hill. Where's Shield Hill? Ah, Howling Fjord. Always the best part about this is the flights halfway across the planet, guys. If I would have read that beforehand, I probably would have just gone to Undercity and taken the boat. Or I'm sorry, the blimp. Yeah, they seem to get. At least it's somewhere different, you know. Unlike the Dis and the Arcane Mage one, to where it's shared. I haven't been in Northrend in a long time. Be honest with you, other than doing these quests. Like even live, if I level a character or something, which has been a long time also, I don't even end up going to Northrend. I just do it by questing. I better start heading back towards this way. That fatigue will kill me. They could have made this flight a little longer. It's good though. It's kind of nice to come back and just take a look at what they've done. This was what, 6, 7 years ago? 8 years ago when this came out? God, I can't believe it's been that long. Hell, it's hard to believe that we're working on like a year of HFC now. Back to SOO 2.0 right there. HFC. Anybody that's rating knows exactly what I'm talking about. That'll make you dizzy. Quiet morning this morning. It is hump day though, right? Wednesday morning, everybody's got to have their fun. And here's Shield Hill.
Hi. Watch your back. See you soon.
Speak with this other guy. So far, it's a really easy quest. We haven't even touched any combat. It's been all flying.
Ancestors watch over you.
Gotta find the hero's grave. Somewhere over up there it is. Big glowing headstone. Wonder if we're gonna get to do anything on this. Probably more lore focused than anything else. And Hearth and back to Dalaran. So yeah, it's all travel time right now, guys. Interesting though. Again, I won't get to read any of this until it's live. You guys will end up having it also, but so much ends up changing in a lot of the text itself, being that it's alpha. But let's get to finding this guy and maybe push through. Want to see this artifact. I've heard some really good reviews on the Prot Paladin. A lot of people are saying they're killing it in PvP. That was until this last alpha build when Light of the Protector got a little bit of a nerf. But we will see exactly how this plays out.
What can I do for you? Watch your back.
Go to Shield's Rest and Stormheim and claim the Truth Guard.
Off with you.
Now it looks like this time they're gonna actually give us something to take. Oh no, it's starting to look recycled. I think this is the same place we came for the BM Hunter.
Great to meet you.
Baladash, Malanore.
That one was pretty funny. Kato's the best healer around. We're lucky we didn't have to wait in queue for his services. Oh, the jokes are real. Kato, you don't put a shield on anymore. Why you gotta touch me?
I'm out of range.
That's one hell of a stun. I don't know what the giant arrow for, but oh, that's what it is. That's what hit me. Got it. This is kind of cool. Helps you get through all this extra damage. That way you aren't sitting here for days trying to plug away. I'll be right back with your execution. Whew. Hope those arrows come with you. I see what you're doing here, buddy. Trying to stun me out again. Alright, so we got the front door open.
I need to get closer.
For the best healer, he's not doing too much. And neither is Light of the Protector's heal.
It's too far away. I need to get closer.
Alright guys, this is why you never go by the reference of your friends that are NPCs. Stuff definitely hits pretty hard too.
Target something first.
I wish you would finish the renouncing and actually, you know, cast a heal instead of yeah. Making me sweat bullets here. Yeah, this is the exact same thing as the BM.
I'm out of range.
Pull out our racial interrupt here.
Have a target. It's too far away.
Good thing is they don't hit that hard. Those other few mobs though, holy crap.
I need to get closer.
I know I'm using the Shield of the Righteous wrong. I'm used to it being a little more spammable, but just doing it for the extra damage right now. The damage does feel higher than the Blood DK though. The Blood DK's damage is fairly low currently on the Alpha. Well, looks like we're taking a different door at least. The one on the right over there is what I was expecting from the BM Hunter. What the hell was that? Oh, okay, got it. I want you to use a cooldown whenever you do this. Reading's hard, guys. Just lost to the reading boss. It's alright, round 2. Yeah, they were doing a lot of damage when in live. I mean, they've never been top damage, but they always did really well for themselves. And I don't know exactly what they end up saying on that, but and here we go. We'll just hit that one. I go figure. That's the one that they wanted us to use. Lasted exactly the same. But yeah, their damage is real low. I had trouble, if like my Blood DK tanking video that I've got out, I actually talk about that because I was having trouble keeping threat on a Hunter and a Shadow Priest. It was on the AoE. They do their AoE and I couldn't keep hardly anything, man. The snap threat is gone, that's for sure. But I didn't know how much artifact power they had either. They seem to have quite a bit. As of where mine was just fresh, so maybe it'll scale well together. Missing some voice acting here. And it's time to go beat this dude up. Time to claim Truth Guard. That's it on his arm. That looks cool as shit. But that's gonna crush me. Unless it scales down, that thing's gonna look like a mount more than anything. So you've got to swap the targets here as they do their thing.
It's too far away.
So I see the nerf on Light at the Protector. Instead of it doing an actual heal, I misread it. It's 25% of your missing health, so it's going to work stronger the further down you are.
I'm out of range.
I see what they're meaning on that one. So that's probably where the nerf was, because I believe it was doing like 25% of your maximum health before. Not 100% sure. But that's why it looks like it's doing so little. It's gonna be like a kind of like a mediocre lay on hands, depending on how much. I can't even give it that comparison. It just doesn't seem like it's gonna heal for enough. So that thing got nerfed into the ground for the extra healing. So instead of extra healing, it's time to go away the damage reduction.
I need to get closer.
This chick needs to take a nap. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't care for the ally side. I did some raid testing on it for Spellbinder, and I don't even think I've got enough good footage to make a video for it from being over there. I don't care for the ally side. That being said, I had to come over to Horde, and if I made a Taran Pally, I have a buddy that would have probably disowned me. And I don't really care for the Tarans too much. Blood Elf, that extra interrupt always is nice. I try and do Blood Elf for most of my tanks just because of it. You get in there and you got melee that don't want to interrupt. It gives you that extra. Oh, there we go. That thing did some decent healing that time. With the health being lower down, it actually doesn't do too bad. I believe I can fly.
I'm out of range.
So some of the self-healing's not bad.
I need to get closer. It's too far away.
Damn, that one crit for like 121k. Yeah, crit, but 121,000. Only got 385, so crit looks pretty solid choice. And here it is. From what I've seen, a lot of the tanks are going to be looking at crit mastery also. I mean, I know they want the versatility for the damage reduction, but it seems like after that, crit mastery seems to be the more favored piece. So there it was, guys. And both of these guys just bubble hearth. Well, my heart's still on cooldown. It's a complete dick move, by the way. Make me use my heart to get back to Dalaran, and this thing didn't even take the full time to end up finishing. So now I'm gonna have to get my butt back there. That shield looks nice though. Holy crap. Still have the they need to fix the cloak still to where it doesn't do the clipping. And I think this is still broke. Where you can where's it at? Where is it at? There it is. Can you turn this crap off? Yeah, see, this is still broken, guys, the appearance stuff. It's not letting you do anything. Can't even turn it off, so we're going to see it clipping through the shield. But man, that is nice. Oh, look who's come back. Oh, hey, cool. The Hippogriff will take you back to Dalaran. So the run back isn't so bad.
Greetings. What can I do for you? Light bless you.
Alright, looks like we got to get the class hall opened up. Take the Dalaran portal to Dalaran Crater. Or fly to Light's Hope Chapel. Enter Light's Hope Sanctum. Now, one thing that I do remember off of this, and let's hope Blessing and Protection still works the same way, because if not, this is gonna hurt. Because, dropping down in Dalaran Crater, they made it to where it kills you yet once again. The beginning of the alpha, it was not. But now, no, there's no justice. You gonna die. They even put the sign out there that says, you know, skull and crossbones, you're gonna die. Let's get to this class hall and look over some of these skins for this shield also. Alright, haven't completely loaded in, but it looks like we survived. If we randomly drop dead on the mount here, it didn't work. And the lag is real. Just trying to get this thing back and forth really kind of... All the travel involved in the Prot Pally one currently is by far the worst. Feels like you just got to go everywhere with this thing, and it's all flight. It's not bad though. I mean, that flight through all the Wrath content, that was kind of boring Tundra and all them. It's kind of nostalgic. Oh, flying too high. Starting to hit the collision up top here. Such a long flight. But once we get down there, we'll be able to take a look at what the Truth Guard's talents are, and then we'll also end up taking a look at some of the skins. So far, the original model looks really good. I mean, as dizzy as it makes me to try and stare at this thing on this mount, I should have chose a different mount, but that original model looks really good. So hopefully it'll be impressive. So far, I think one of my favorites is probably the Death Knight itself, the Blood DK to be more specific. Has some really, really solid choices on skins, and they all look really good. Then you've got, like, what was it? The Brewmaster Monk. That thing is horrible looking. They all look the same. It's really going to be specific on the person's, you know, personal outlook on it. But, man, they could have done a lot more color on some of these and actually made them look good. Some of them just don't, guys. But most of the artifacts that I ran into, they all have their own different look and they look really good. And hopefully this one's got a lot of skins that end up reflecting that same deal. The base model is really awesome though. Yeah, that thing looks good. It goes well with the sword too. It's kind of nice that they ended up putting the, you know, the actual artifact for tanks, at least shield wielding ones. They gave the artifact, it's actually on the shield instead of the main hand. That was a good little spin, letting them know that shields are important. Now I have been here before on the Holy Pally. We'll see if this is looking any different. It was a nice looking zone. Still under construction. Yeah, it doesn't look too much different. That dude needs a different deal to end up saying. We don't have the Ashbringer. He's seriously confused.
Be careful.
Time to RP walk. Yeah, this main chapel room is really gorgeous. Not much is changing here though. They might be pretty close to finished with it. I don't see any of the delete me now stuff in here, or nothing like that's changed. Alrighty then. Oh, the slow pace of this. Prot Pally confirmed, slow paced. No matter what, this just really slow on this quest line. Lots of RP, lots of lore. And again, we'll get into the lore when it seems a little more official. We are still in the alpha, not even beta testing. When it gets to the point to where we're testing, you know, a bit more, we might get into the lore a tad bit more than we have. But currently, this is where we're at. It's just a beefy looking shield and sword combination. Once I get the RP done, we'll go ahead go over the skins here, guys, of this. But man, it looks really good. And then this here, I believe, is the same model as some of the heirloom stuff. So it fits really good.
Well met.
Alright.
Go with honor, friend.
the sacrificial altar here, and let's see. Talents first, like usual. Eye of Tyr. Release a blinding flash from Truth Guard, causing holy damage to all enemies, and reduces the damage you deal to you by 25% for 9 seconds. 1 minute cooldown. Cool. I guess we'll set that guy right there. And then Ancient Power. The Ancient Power within this weapon reduces all damage you take by 5%. This is just a placeholder trait. Let's see what the rest of this unlocks. I like the way they got the shield and the sword off to the side. Really neat looking. Kind of reminds me of, I think there was a clock shield in Ulduar. So, we'll take it clockwise this time. Face armor, rank 0-3. Passive increases your armor by 10% when under 40% health. So, lower death kind of deal. Righteous Crusader, passive, increases damage and damage reduction of Shield of the Righteous by 3%. So, this is going to basically give you a little more damage and a little bit more damage reduction. That's always nice to see. Increased threat and increased damage reduction. Excellent. Resolve of Truth increases your health by 2%. Hey, being a pally, always having extra health is always good, especially with the way Light of Protector's working. 25% of your missing health. It doesn't do much up top, but whenever it ends up getting lower, that'll end up picking up quite a bit. Bulwark of Order. Avengers Shields. Avengers Shield shields you for the amount of damage it dealt. They're missing something in that tooltip there, but I can see what they're saying. So the more damage you do with Avengers Shield, the better. This is kind of like what they've got with the current tier sets in live, and that's going to be awesome, guys. To end up having it as a stable ability, I could see that working out very nicely, considering shields are limited, very limited right now. Even through Discipline Priests, they're limited. So this will be a nice piece. This will end up helping out quite a bit. I can see this being really strong. Painful Truce, passive. Your Ardent Defender grants you Painful Truce, which deals damage per melee strike you are dealt. So basically, as they end up hitting you while you're under Ardent Defender, it does damage to the mob. Kind of cool. Consecration in Flames. Increase the duration of Consecration by 1 second. Stacks up to 3. That's alright. Hammer Time. Oh boy. Passive. Increases the damage of Hammer of the Righteous by 3%. So another damage increase. That's always good. Again, more threat. The Blood DK seemed real low on threat, but not too sure how the Prot Pally is doing yet. Tyr's Enforcer. The Knowledge of the Watchers causes the Truth Guard to deal damage to all enemies within 5 yards of each target hit by Avenger Shield. So basically they put an AoE on top of your AoE. Stern Judgment increases the critical strike chance of judgment by 3%. That's amazing. That's really awesome, guys, because that's going to play well. Where's it at? Redoubt. Judgment critical strikes give you a charge of Shield of the Righteous. So not only is that going to be not only is that going to be, that's exactly where I went to, John, was yeah. Who is that? Mr. T. And it's going to play well. It increased critical strike on judgment. That'll be 9% when it's maxed out. And that's going to actually play well with getting you the extra Shield of Righteous charges. It's going to look really good. That's an amazing piece right there. I can see that playing very nicely. It really depends on how crit's playing endgame. Forbearant Faithful, 1 stack of this. Passive, each forbearance you cause will increase the rate that all of your forbearance causing abilities recharge. So basically, you're going to end up using, if you use your Lay on Hands and your blessings a lot, this is going to lower their recharge rate as it's up. Oh yeah, MC Hammer. My bad. I was thinking, oh wow, that's horrible. I was thinking, A-Team. Way too early in the morning. Yeah. Heart of the Avengers, rank 0 out of 3, increases the damage of Avengers shield by 3%. Alright, so more AoE damage. Unflinching defense, reduce the cooldown of Ardent Defender by 10 seconds, okay. Scatter the shadows, increase the healing of Light of the Protector by 10%. That's good, but is that going to go with from 25% of your health missing, or is that going to go to 35%, or is it going to add on top of that? So that's going to be a testing kind of item to see where that plays. Light of the Titans. Shield of the Righteous empowers your next Light of the Protector, causing it to heal for additional 0 over until canceled. So it looks like it's going to add a hot. The tooltip is not complete. And we'll see how that plays out. An extra hot is alright if your Shield of the Protector is actually, or I'm sorry, your Light of the Protector is actually going to heal good enough. And then the bottom one down here is Sacrifice of the Just. Reduce the cooldown of Blessing of Sacrifice by 60 seconds. This could be useful if you're off tanking and the other tank's getting ready to take a huge hit or something and they need an additional cooldown. So, and frequently, I should say, because that'll take you from a 3-minute to a 2-minute. Still a hard one to play with, and what everybody wants to see. There it is. There's the original model, and that thing looks sexy. Oh, that looks good too. I've got a set that'll fit that. I got a good black and red set on my Paladin that'll fit that guy. We'll wait for it to spin around here, but this white and purple one looks good also. I think they really went with some of the more famous transmogs. There's that purple Pally set also that a lot of people like using. And it looks like they kind of based that. They knew where people would go with their transmogs for this one at least. And they built around it. Yeah, because there's that. Yeah. Oh, that is. I gotta wait for that to spin around because I want to see that a little bit better. But that looks outstanding. We're only into the second row here, and I'm super excited about this artifact. They gave it wings. Like, I don't even care about the sword. It's all about the shield in this case, but the sword looks good too. Come on, baby, spin around. Do a little twirl for daddy. Oh, that looks good. God, that looks good. That is an amazing, amazing artifact. Good job, art team, on that one. And this is the Vindicator's Bulwark. The slowest part about this is waiting for it to do a little twirl, guys. So we'll get this full look at the sword here. And the sword doesn't seem to change much from piece to piece. In this aspect, I do, but I think it would have played better into the Paladin itself if they had a mace. But there's also been speculation that it's the reason why they're not doing a lot of work on the sword is because they're going to go with the flail, and that would be awesome. That would play into the class role so much. And wow, there's another really good looking shield, guys. Holy crap, look at that one. We're going to have to wait for that to come through again. So yeah, if they turn the artifact like the main hand weapon on this, they're testing the actions for it. But if they turn it into a flail, that's going to be 100%. I can see where it's going straight to the Paladin. That's going to be amazing to have a flail instead. Yeah, that's what I keep saying. That is going to be outstanding. It'll just look really good. And this thing, the Vindicator's Bulwark, look at it. The art team did so much work on this shield. Oh, and the PvP ones. Look at that. Man, I hate having to wait for this thing to spin so much, but Yeah, see, and the sword's basically the same every single time. So I think when it comes live, you're actually going to see the flail if they get the actions correct on it. Or at least a mace. I would like to see a mace instead of the sword. And it's coming back around. Look at this thing. This is the PvP set. Prestige level 1. Here you go. Prestige level 5. And here's 9. And then, boom, prestige level 13. Okay, so, that being said, I'm going to be PvPing on my Prot Pally come live. Or at least the ret, because they've already said if you end up PvPing on one spec, as your prestige level goes up, it's actually going to unlock it for every artifact you have. So you don't have to worry if you can still PvP as red or holy or whatever you prefer to PvP as and still get these. But man, they are actually dead sexy looking. Every single one of these pieces looks amazing. Good job, Blizzard Art Team. This one is outstanding. If you could do some work on some of the other ones, that would be great too. But holy crap, even the base model looks good. So, we've been at this an hour and 8 minutes, guys. We're going to take a real quick break, and then we're going to jump right into some queues. Hopefully these go quick enough, and we have enough people out to push this and get a couple good dungeon runs in. I haven't done any dungeon runs with this. I just did the quest line for the artifact. We got it. We're going to end up playing around and seeing exactly how we go. So I'll see you guys back here in just a minute. Looks like we got a little bit of a wait. So, enjoy the break, guys. Get up, use the restroom, and we'll get back at it. Alright, guys, we are back. Unfortunately, no instant queue because we're still waiting on a healer. Easy stuff, though. Usually that means top priority. As soon as we get a healer to queue, we should end up having something. So we'll just play it through, see how this is going. We might even fly off somewhere and take a look, but it really, that PvP shield makes me want to start PvPing instantly on this. But no point in trying to build up the talents right now
What can I do for you?
to unlock prestige stuff.
For the Alliance.
Keep it the same for a second, see how it does in comparison to some.
Be careful.
Meeting of the Silver Hand, placeholder quest. Oh, look at that.
Be careful.
Nothing added in. All placeholder stuff.
Light bless you.
Arcanon Poros.
So it looks like they're starting to build builder quests. Instead of you just go visit, take your stuff, and get the hell out, they're starting to build this up a bit more.
Remember the lessons of the past. Good fortune. Remain vigilant. Blessings upon your family.
What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend.
Peace, friend. Winds be at your back.
Greetings. Be careful.
Looks like I gotta speak to a bunch of people here too, but come on, healer. This is an interesting deal. Use alternate ancient kings. Okay, so there's a lot of broken quests right now. Again, they look like they're trying to take away the single point A to point B, but it seems to be very broken. I just want to get into the dungeons and start
Stay the course.
beating some stuff up. See exactly how well this thing plays. Super slow on getting this stuff taken care of. Alright, so we have Julia Celeste here. Let's find out where she's at. Looked like she was over here somewhere. Class all looks good, guys. I guess this is like the placeholder questing to get you exactly where you need to end up being. Just to get you introduced with it, I guess.
Well met.
Really wish this would go a little faster, but it's taking its sweet time.
Be careful. King's honor, friend.
Hunt the Dreadlord Balnazar.
Need help? Light bless you.
Yeah, most of this is just saying complete the mission, placeholder quest, so it's all still in the works. Again, it's Legion, it's Alpha. Not a lot to really end up looking forward to.
Well met. Light bless you.
Alright, we're gonna just get the hell out of here. Hearth back to Dalaran and see how this thing's doing in the real world, see if it's taking a lot of damage. We'll go back to Azuna just to see how it compares to some of the others that we were doing. I'm really hoping that they do implement the flail to this though, because I think that would be amazing to end up seeing a paladin swinging a giant meaty flail.
Knowledge is power, but using it wisely is the key. There is much to be done. Hail.
Let's get the hell out of Dalaran. So when this goes live, guys, I really hope they fix it because it's already starting to turn into Lagaran. And I mean, I have a pretty beefy computer. Anybody that's actually playing this game casually and not working with some high-end equipment, they're gonna have a lot of issues. They did do a lot of graphics updates, but with it being as multi-platform as it is, and all the stuff going on, you have not only the NPCs cause an issue, and then when you get people involved in Dalaran, this was the issue back in Wrath too, to where it got the nickname Lagaran for this reason, because it would just lag out even some of the best computers. You'd go and hearth in there and it would take you 20-30 minutes to completely load up, or it would just completely kick you from the game and you'd have to relog back in. Horrible, horrible, horrible. It was disturbing. My computer wasn't as good back then, but anybody that's got a computer that's on the lower end, this is going to become an issue yet again unless they do some changes. I don't know what they would do to end up stopping that, but man, I really hope they figure something out. And that might be the reason why they did the class halls, to try and keep everyone out of Dalaran so it's not as bad. But they're still using it as a main hub, and that's a huge issue.
Trust in yourself. Hurry. The Illidari are about to be overrun.
Gotta go ahead and grab these quests.
We are all that stand. Your artifact is powerful.
Grab the flight path.
Jason Alari if you intend to help.
And we're still waiting on that healer, guys. We're 11 minutes into the queue. It shouldn't be as long as most of the DPS queues. I want to try and get a couple dungeons in, if we're lucky. Hour and 20 minutes into the stream, we may or may not. When I tank, I usually try and pace them well, so we'll see exactly how this works. And I did choose Azuna again, and the reason why I chose Azuna was just to test and compare and see how the tank's playing out damage-wise in comparison to an actual damage dealer. I mean, whoever's seen the stream before should know how it's playing. Yeah, Light of the Protector does nothing if you're not missing much health, guys. Which is good, I guess. They had to fix that PvP problem a bit. Still lower health, it'll do alright. Especially since it has a chance to crit still. So yeah, it's taking a bit longer to kill things. Not too bad though. I have nothing to fear. That's for sure. So Avenger Shield actually increases what Light of the Protector or Shield of the Righteous will end up doing also. So we'll see how that gameplay works. Come kill this seal. I had to swap those two. My muscle memory is kicking in from my Pally on live. So it looks like Shield of the Righteous also stacks its remaining abilities, so not too bad. Don't take hardly any damage either. Again, I want to see this actually in the dungeon play. Really limited. Just use the artifact ability. 25% less damage to the paladin. That was kind of a weak spellcast, though. Alright, we're gonna just put everything we can in this guy.
I'm out of range.
Taking a long time to do. And we're still waiting on that one healer. 14 minutes in. So soloing a single target mob, it's completely able to be done, but holy crap. It's gonna take us a year to kill this thing. This is bad. Ladies and gentlemen, do not quest as a Prot Pally. Make sure you've got your artifact and you end up going with it. And live, I very highly doubt that dungeon keys for a tank are going to be this bad, but currently waiting for a healer. It's kind of early in the morning. Never fails. If I'm healing, I'm looking for a tank. If I'm tanking, I'm looking for a heal. Oh good, somebody came to help kill this thing. We will get it done by next week. Maybe. Oh, nope, it was another tank that joined in. Vengeance Demon Hunter. We will not get this done by next week. Okay, so unless you can pull half of the island here, you're gonna do exactly 0 damage on anything. Have a DPS spec ready, just for that reason, guys. Because holy crap, that took forever. I love the new Judgment, though.
It's too far away.
The abilities, just seeing their, like Judgment's back to throwing a hammer at him. You actually throw a hammer instead of it dropping from the sky. Good job, Blizz. I missed that. Oh, man. Guess the good part about it is I can just pull everything and eventually whittle it all down. No damage with multi-pulling in real world. I could see this working out really nice later on. But currently, man. This guy's over here trying to jack all my kills. You'd think the Demon Hunter would be able to kill something himself. But I forgot they can't do nothing single target and they can't pull more than 2 mobs while, currently while alive without dying. They are extremely squishy, guys. I do have a video coming up on Havoc, but holy crap. They are squishy, and their single target damage, it seems really, really low. So just a little heads up on that. AoE, man, they have got it. They are wrecking AoE, but single target, it's not there. It's just not there at all. But again, Alpha, they'll fine tune it. Now watch this. Here comes Judgment. Doesn't that look good? I'm so glad they brought that style of Judgment back instead of the wimpy crap. I mean, the hammer still, at least they gave the pulsing hammer or whatever a little bit better. Like the graphic, instead of it sounding all weird and looking like someone hit a gong or something with the little bursts they had before. Spec's playing alright. I mean, it's playing what a tank will play, guys. And again, this is it's 688 item level. The only thing that I have that's contributing to this increase from a regular 680 is the artifact. And both of these are considered 750. That is the only reason why we look like, why we have anything higher than what you'd consider base, the baleful gear that you're getting from the island on live right now. Didn't even realize this thing was doing that, but if it works for the quest stuff, oh yeah, guess what? Come here, I don't want to cheese this any longer. Alright, tanks, remember that once these towers are activated, you can get through here by killing them next to the tower. What? Divine Steed. Floating mounts are not allowed here. The thing's got legs, it touches the ground, it's a ground mount. Let me use it. It's kind of cheesy, guys. I've already seen this thing limited in 2 different areas. I don't know if this is going to be the choice or not. To be quite honest with you, let's go to Righteous Protector. We'll test that one out, because why not? I haven't really seen myself using the Divine Steed that much anyways. Haven't hit a dungeon either, so.
Do not give in to the power of the Legion.
22 minutes into queue, and we're still waiting on that healer. Come on, healers. If any of you run a healer on this alpha, get on. It's just a normal dungeon. Make it nice, quick, and easy. Depending on the dungeon and how well people know how to interrupt. I gotta throw a disclaimer in there. So many cooldowns too. That's one of the things I kept with the Paladin is the cooldown play. And there are a ton. I mean, you can see you've got your Divine Shield, your Ardent Defender, you've got your Guardian of Ancient Kings, Avenging Wrath, and then now you've got the Eye of Tyr, which is from your Truth Guard, your artifact weapon. Just a ton of cooldown management. I think this thing might be broken. Drop and go. Try re-grabbing this quest and seeing if it works again.
What have you given?
I really wish I had a healer here, guys. I wanted to push a couple dungeons, but this is taking forever. And it so being the this is just the way that alpha goes sometimes. You got the testing.
Must not fall.
Alright, now this quest is working. Man, I really love this model, though. I've always been a sucker for a good-looking shield. That's always good. Gotta wait for the mob inside of the phony zone to actually come back. See the Demon Hunter NPC running through its rotation, and even it doesn't do that much damage. Man, I really wish someone would queue as a healer. Get this stuff on the road. Because taking no damage and doing no damage isn't really the case here. I want to see stuff die, just not in questing. Let's get some dungeons rolling. Sometime this week, this mob's gonna die, guys. So in the real world with this particular spec, single target, you're not gonna die, guys. I mean, if you die, you did something extremely wrong. You went AFK in the middle of the trash bowl. Something. It's silly easy. But it's not gonna kill anything real quick either. So if you do plan on going tank, make sure you got a group of some good DPS to kill it for you, or at least one good DPS. Otherwise, I can see this taking a really, really long time, at least at the base item level, which is 680. Tanks that are live right now, the prot tanks that are sitting at, you know, 700-ish item level, this isn't going to mean nothing to them. Quite boring sitting here, though. Ready to go make me a bag of popcorn or something as I try and kill this thing. Holy crap, there it is. I'll take it. I don't even care anymore. This guy makes me mad. 5 minutes to kill this thing. It's like practicing on a training dummy. Definitely feels like you've got a bit more to end up pressing on your buttons too. 1 DPS missing. Holy cow, we killed it! Come on. All these DPS taking their sweet time. That sucks too, because they had to wait probably twice or 3 times as long as I did for this queue, and they're AFK and they're losing out. Alright, straight into a level 110 dungeon, the Maw of Souls. This ought to be fun. All 3 specs of Paladin here. Looks good. Looks like we're all scaled. There it is. There's this actual scaling. Now that that's done, we'll go ahead and start pulling. See just how this thing's doing. Now again, this scales us up to 110 in this. So far, taking damage doesn't seem to be an issue. This is normal. This is alpha. I've done this on a couple other characters, and to be quite honest with you, so far it's feeling pretty smooth. Threat doesn't seem to be an issue. And we have a hunter in here, so apparently it's not as broken as the last one I played with.
I need a target.
The damage seems really mild, so I don't know if they might have gone through and fixed this place and done some tuning. But so far, I don't feel like I'm getting hit hard at all.
It's too far away. I need to get closer. I don't have a target.
Good stuff already. Seems like it's got some pretty decent threat. As long as you get a hold of it, you're not losing it. Really smooth damage. Even with me standing here eating the stuff, I'm just testing out how it's playing. Seeing how well everything's doing, and it really, there's not a lot of damage going out, guys.
I need to target something first.
Real good so far. Pop that Truth Guard ability.
I need to get closer.
Not playing as smoothly as I normally would because of the couple changes, but it's playing out kind of nice, guys. I mean, the healer is barely using any mana. It hasn't sat to drink, you know, on the pulls, even after it got the scaling up, and it was at half mana, and it's not too far off, so it looks good right now. Yeah, it's telling me just to go, so it's not worried about mana either. Looks like they reduced the area that screams. So yeah, they've done some work to this place. It used to have a much bigger area that you had to run out of to get that. Knockback's reduced also on the snow crap, so done some work here. Ah, crap. Hit that Bane and knocked us back into it, so.
I'm out of range.
Yeah, the Pally's actually gaining mana through this fight. So they've either scaled it down a lot or the Prot Pally OP. I really got to pay attention more or less to what's going on in the fight here. It's not too bad though, so it's kind of relaxing. The Bane locations seem to have been catching me every time. Yeah, they've reduced that knockback a lot. It used to knock you way back. Again, this is a level 110 dungeon. Scaled to an 8-time item level. Sorry, 810. I've had a lot of uptime on the shield also. I didn't get out of that in time. Looks like our healing pally might die. Ah, there it goes. I keep looking away at the wrong time, and then I look back and it's halfway through the cast bar. There's a lovely lay on hands usage. 10-minute cooldown now instead of 5. I can't remember if that's what it is live, but I believe it's only a 5-minute. Easy save. And again, the healer went in with like the same mana that it's got right now that it ended. Said go go, so we went after it. Plays very easy, guys. I mean, gameplay, it really doesn't seem to be taking too much damage. That being said, it's not doing much damage either.
I'm out of range.
The stun's not too cool. Yeah, still not taking much damage at all. AoE's, the threat seems to be pretty decent. The self-healing feels like it's been weakened out with Light of the Protector. It feels like it's going to be timed a little bit more, it's going to be timed a little more for when you're at lower health instead of just spamming it.
I need to target
15-second cooldown, but each time you cast, because of the talent I took, Shield of the Righteous, each time you end up casting Shield of the Righteous, it reduces the cooldown.
It's too far away. I need a target.
Feels like they've tuned this dungeon to where it's not as stressful also. Feels more like an actual normal dungeon instead of a heroic.
I'm out of range.
Yeah, the damage taken right now compared to other tanks I've ran through this, and again, it feels like they've tuned it. It's nowhere near what it was whenever I ran through this on my Demon Hunter, and it's extremely nice.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Damn dogs just jump everywhere.
I need to get closer.
Yeah, that AoE's been scaled way down also. So I'm going to say it's the damage reduction in here that's making it look so good. I mean, I have not been paying very much attention at all on this, and we're still making it through fairly easy. The feel feels nice though. Feels real good. I'm not running any logs this time to see where it's at, but I will probably see how the self-healing is in comparison to others.
It's too far away. I'm out of range.
Now I noticed this the other day. I ended up going through this little tunnel here. So I don't know if that opens up after you kill this guy or what.
I need to get closer. It's too far away.
Looks like someone pulled a pack of dogs.
I need to get closer. It's too far away.
Ah, crap. There goes the extra pull. Horrible choice.
I'm out of range.
Hammer went through the wall. Nothing but mob. Perfect shot, if it was intended. But yeah, there was no line of sight, nothing like that. I just basically threw my hammer completely through a wall at mobs that I did not want to pull. Double stun going on here. Healer's still really good on mana. Pretty solid paladin healer. But then again, it does not seem like there's hardly any damage going out in comparison to what it was. Nowhere near as punishing. And yeah, it looks like this door here will actually swap up every now and then with the other one. And we've got a Pat. We'll pull him separate. Oh, now you want a line of sight?
I'm out of range.
Nothing in the way, no line of sight. And hunters, yeah. Pretty nice heal off of it. Light of the Protector that time, but way lower on health.
It's too far away.
Yeah, guys, if I would have pulled this originally on the Vengeance Demon Hunter, and again, I'm not sure if it's damage scaling or if it's just a pally, this would have been a wipe.
I need a target.
But the cooldown reduction and everything, that just made that way too easy. In fact, the healer didn't even seem to be too low. This Light of the Protector, though, I'm starting to miss the other one we've got in live right now. Can't even think of the name of it.
I need to get closer.
It'll come to me here eventually, but this... Oh. Excuse me. This one being dependent on how much health you have reduced.
It's too far away.
Not too awesome. Basically what they're doing is making it to where paladins can't do any solo content, but DKs will tear it up. But the cooldowns, man, they are a saving grace whenever shit like that happens. Helps out a lot. Getting ready to go on to the second boss here. Let's let everyone get up here. Looks like good mana. And the pull. Take care of these ads. Since apparently no one else is going to.
Our mountain's ready.
So far, so good, guys. Again, like I said, the whole reason why I do the Blood Elf thing is for the extra interrupt. And it seems like it works out pretty good. Especially right now. Got things like this that are just sitting up here. When my other interrupts on cooldown, I can still take care of them. None of the abilities seem to really do too much damage. But this guy, even on the other setup that we had, he was pretty simple. Healer mana is looking good, so that makes me feel confident on this. Interrupting's hard.
I need to get closer.
All in all, this is a pretty good fight. I want to see what it does on heroic and even the challenge modes, because it seems like they scaled it down just a little too much right now for the normal. But again, it is normal. It's made to be passable. Getting this Demon Hunter to swap targets is seems like it's going to be impossible. At least if I can bring the boss over to it, it gets some more cleave damage on it. Easy mode, guys. I know I'm playing my active mitigation as more of a damage roll, but this really is not too tank intensive on the fight. So getting that extra bit of damage always helps. and the new artifact power stuff.
No quarter to these scallywags! Helya doesn't abide intruders!
It's way lower than what it was. Before this last alpha build went out, it was quite a bit more. The things that they were dropping, they were purple, but they were given like 150 each. Now it's down to like 25. So they really scaled back how fast they want the artifact power to be gained. And I didn't interrupt that due to not paying attention. Alright. Let the good times roll. Yeah, by far not as punishing as it was.
I love the range.
Really not too sure about this heal, guys. Seems like every time I get low, I go to use it, and I check out my health bar, and it's already topped back up, and it does nothing. The damage reduction seems a little bit better.
It's too far away.
No, didn't get to it in time. Facing the wrong one. Go ahead and use a big cooldown. Saw that one coming. Was able to get that one. Not able to get that one. That time it looked like it did a pretty decent chunk of healing. Oh, this fear is just killing me. Yeah, this fear is just absolutely nuts, and they keep pulling more. There was nothing I could end up doing on that. So there it is, first death, guys. Yeah, no one focused the first mob. They just AoE'd. Stuff happens. Interrupts were on cooldown almost the whole entire time. Let's try this one more time.
out of range.
Alright, looks like they adjusted it so I can do all the interrupts too if I catch it early enough. So there's a mean little trash pack here. Oh, wasn't paying attention. The bad part about this is I don't have enough muscle memory with this new spec yet to really end up saying yes or no on how well this is playing. Because I keep messing up with the interrupts.
I need a target.
It's good though. At least they didn't pull like everything.
I need to get closer.
So far this seems to be a decent spec, guys. It's not much different than on live. The self-healing from not having Word of Glory seems a bit lower. With more stamina, this is probably going to be amazing because you'll be able to stay at a lower health and do more. But currently it doesn't seem like it's playing off as well as it should.
Send in the skeleton crew. Destroy these landlubbers.
See how well the AoE does here.
No prey, no pay. Now secure the Naglfar.
Picking up the skeleton's pretty good.
No prey, no pay. Now secure the Naglfar.
Looks like we got a lot of AoE damage.
I need to get closer.
These skellies don't do nothing. Just curious. Block is at almost 50% right now too, so that seems a little high.
I'm out of range.
Pillage! Plunder! Leave none standing! Destroy these landlubbers!
I need to get
No
closer.
prey, no pay! Now secure the Naglfar!
I'm out of range.
All hands on deck! No prey, no pay! Now secure the Naglfar!
It's too far away.
Plunder! Leave none standing! Destroy these landlubbers!
I'm out of range.
One day our DPS will actually kill the main guy and we'll get through with it, but
I need to target something.
there we go. It finally died. They kind of have a balance on the damage intake. It's not the shield tanks obviously are more, they're more balanced for it. Pallies seem to be doing pretty good. They don't seem to be taking as much hits as at all, but this also seems to, it feels like it's been nerfed. It's not as punishing as it was. But that being said, I haven't gone back and redone this dungeon with any other tanks that I had done prior to the newest alpha build. It seems like shield tanks, yes, they are going to be a little bit higher, but Vengeance, even though they're supposed to be a little bit more of an avoidance tank, they have a lot of real good damage mitigation. So I don't see that being too much of an issue. Prot on the other, Prot Pally right now though, I mean, it just doesn't seem to take any damage. But I'm used to the old comparison too. That might be where most of the changes are at and why I feel that way. It really feels like this place has either gotten a nerf or Prot Pally is just that strong. And right now, Brewmaster feels like it's really, really underneath, sadly to say.
Your fate rains down! I am losing my patience!
We've got another Destructor Tentacle up. So we're going to be taking some insane damage.
Embrace your fate, fools!
This Demon Hunter's on the wrong target. Hopefully it'll swap over because without killing these,
This is not possible! Your fate
at least it's close enough.
What manner of creatures are you?
Jeez. Yeah, that was way rougher than it should have been without the swaps. Seems like they might have buffed Holy Pally healing too. Otherwise, either that or this guy's got a bunch of artifact power. There we go, phase 2.
Your fate rains down!
Gonna go ahead and pop our wings. That extra damage out. I feel like we're missing something here, like, I don't know, another raid cooldown. I know they gave us that shield for everyone behind us, but yeah, I mean, I saw that also to where they said, hey, we're releasing them, but they're a little on the overtuned side. But after playing it, I was like, Blizzard's smoking crack. It's not overtuned. If anything, it's a little undertuned, not having guard, and then having to literally chase down the orbs and stand on them. It was more of a pain in the ass than anything. Like, if they put a little bit of a range deal on there to where, hey, you get within so close, you suck up your orb because you're taking huge hits. And it was just silly. I did not like it at all. And that's sad, because I do like Brewmaster live right now, but there's no... You're just getting beat up. That's it. I mean, the whole point, you're getting beat up. They want you to use the Iron Skin Brew to increase your stagger. There's no way of increasing your stagger except for using that, and then purify it all off to try and reduce the damage. But it doesn't even seem like the dodge mechanic that they put for your new mastery is working right either. So, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, that was awesome with them bringing him to you with Soul Cleave. If they would take something like that, I mean, you don't even have to have it to where you've got an ability that brings them to you. But if you got within a range of 5 yards or something and it sucked it into you, that would be great. But they've got a lot of revision that they're gonna have to do with it, because I don't see it good. I've already put my notes out there for them on what could use to be changed, like the talent where the keg flies up in the air and has zero control whatsoever. That thing's horrible. It doesn't do nothing. I mean, the Prot Pally here is feeling pretty well refined. It's pretty decent on its self heals. It did take a nerf for not having Word of Glory instead of having this Light of the Protector, and with the latest alpha change. But it's not bad either. They've got a real smooth damage play with the talents that I've selected. And then if stuff does get too hairy, you've got plenty of cooldowns to rotate through. And that is my souls. Nerfed to the ground from the feels of it, but then again, I don't know if it's nerfed to the ground or if it's just the class. And the damage was kind of low. It takes forever to get through this boss. Nice ring though. Finally implemented some loot. We're gonna dump out of this, and we'll re-queue again. Currently sitting at 2 hours and 20 minutes in the stream. I really wish that we would end up getting... Hope we get this other queue pretty quick. The artifact power that they used to give you in these dungeons has completely slowed itself down. I got one deal for 25 artifact power. That did jack diddly for the next. So, building it up, you're going to have to go a different route, guys. No more just regular dungeon spam and get it done.
I have sacrificed everything. What have you given?
So we did hit the queue again, and it looks like we're automatically back to just needing one healer. Hopefully it comes up quick. If it happens even 1 minute before the noon hour here, we'll go ahead and run through the whole entire dungeon just like normal. And I really hope it goes quick. That way we can get it done fast.
Trust in Lord Eve.
I'm not sure how well this is really doing. I haven't done, and again, I haven't done my souls after this last alpha build, so they might have tuned it down.
I have sacrificed every...
After Prot Pally, I've got one more tank, and that's going to be the Prot Warrior to end up testing. Then I can give a affirmative of, you know, currently in the alpha where everyone's sitting. Holy crap! Did you happen to watch the blood gameplay video that I put out? They are insane on the alpha right now. Damage is not there at all, not at all. But survivability it's nuts. Completely broken. But yet they are on live right now also. And with the new Morrow Rend ability, it actually makes it pretty decent to play.
I need a target.
I will say Vengeance Demon Hunter is by far one of the funnest to end up playing also. It's a really good spec. It's fun. It does a moderate amount of damage at the same time of taking very little and then doing the healing up. I haven't jumped back on it since they did the alpha change to 10% magic reduction over the 30 and then giving you a cooldown to make it 30, 1 minute cooldown. I haven't gone through and actually tested that yet to see how well it's playing, but I'm sure it's fine. If you're used to tanking and cooldown management, it'll be perfect. And then Blood DK on the other hand, they're just muscle through just about anything. I had my I've got my Blood gameplay video out there and quick review on it, and there's a couple bosses that basically had to finish with no healer and 1 DPS. And it did it just fine. Some of these areas not allowing you to use mounts and not allowing to use the Divine Steed really sucks. Yeah. See, and I don't see that. If you end up keeping up your bone shields, I don't see where that's happening. Like, the second boss in the Archway, the second part of it, it does a huge amount of increased damage and speed. And it's got that speed buff and everything, and it just starts hitting really, really hard. And I noticed it a lot on the Vengeance Demon Hunter. But on the Blood Death Knight, I didn't notice it. I just kept my stacks up, and I wasn't taking any damage. You know, and then cool down to end up healing for what damage I did. It was ridiculous how simple the fight really was in comparison. Again, it may have been nerfed down. They did do a lot of changes to the Archway, pathing changes, so on and so forth. But the damage on the bosses still seem about the same. So really, it was an interesting change, and it's. I'm not gonna say change as much as it was how well it actually pulled out. I mean, it did good because Spiky, they are super spiky on live right now. That I know of, just healing him, and right now the spiky doesn't seem to be there, guys. I mean, it really doesn't. I could see if they still had that spike, but if you keep your stacks up of bone shield, nah, no issues, not at all. The only issue I had on the Blood Death Knight was threat, really. I had a hunter that was just wrecking the competition. And he was pretty proud of it at one point in time about just pulling threat. And it's like, when you hit barrage and you do that much damage and you're trying to play reckless, that's what's going to end up happening. And then stuff just goes everywhere. But he balanced out and he started using Misdirect, which Misdirect has changed to where you don't drop the threat anymore, and that was helping out. But that's the only place I had any issue, was the damage was low and the threat wasn't as high as it should have been. Survivability though, different story. It was insane on the survivability. Prot Pally, I don't like sitting as low as I've seen the health drop on this, so I'm not sure where I'm going to end up placing it when I do my overall tanking video. just to see where they're sitting. Again, I do have the Prot Warrior to end up going through and doing some testing on. I'm probably end up doing a couple more dungeons on this just to see where it's sitting, and then I gotta test the Demon Hunter again because that was pre this build. And again, this is all alpha. This is still testing. Things are changing back and forth, but I'm not too worried about where it's going to actually sit. But yeah, if you check it out, if you don't want to see any spoilers, I do have the artifact video up there, and at the end of it, I go over the skins of the actual artifact for the Blood Death Knight. The beginning, we go over the abilities, and you know, obviously, the middle is going to be the artifact quest in the class hall. So you can limit it. You can always skip just straight towards the end of it to see what the skins actually look like. And then you can always end up going from what the skins look like straight into the gameplay and review. With that review, it was quite a bit. I'd say about 5 or 6 dungeons before I decided to actually finish that out and use just comparison videos of level 100 and 110 to throw it out. And it's very well played. I enjoy it. I don't enjoy DKs at all on live. So that was a real nice change to actually see a DK spec that I enjoyed. I might actually even finish leveling one to 100 now because of that. But Hunter and DKs have never really impressed me at all. But that's just my gameplay. That's the way I like it. You know, and to say that Blood DK is actually an impressive tank spec for me now, and not boring as shit is a nice thing. Ten minutes in this queue. Come on, healers. I want to see another healer and hopefully some good DPS. See how it's really playing. No threat issues in that last one either. I mean, had the occasional few things, but hunters and their barrage just they need to have some control, man. Most useless ability ever. Can't mount in this area, and it doesn't want you to... Certain areas, I should say, of this Azuna, they don't want you to mount, and you can't even use your Divine Steed, which is supposed to allow you to use it inside. If misdirection was used, that would be awesome. Misdirect would be awesome, but they weren't using misdirect. They were just using barrage and wondering why they had threat. There's the snap threat. I mean, once you get it, it's pretty much there. But the snap threat's not there. And if they're focus firing a different target and they've got way more artifact power, it's gone. It's going to run straight towards them. MM is very broken right now, and they're doing some insane numbers. I haven't actually tested MM, but I mean, that's the only spec of Hunter that gives me any issues. Then again, it's the only spec of Hunter that people seem to be playing.
I fear that Grandfather doesn't have much time left.
Gotta go grab a key over here. Yeah, unfortunately that's not the case. Even in the alpha here, a lot of the people that got the alpha are 13 of 13 mythic, at least on the Realm 3 or whatever. And then they've got Realm 1 open, and I've got both of them that I'm using stuff off of. The problem with the with it is I think a lot of people are trying this stuff out and they're not used to healing. So I've ran into that quite a bit also. To where it's just like, oh yeah, we'll go ahead and pull a bunch, and then next thing you know, the healer's like, doo doo doo. Who are you, and why did you just pull all that? I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, there's that key. Still waiting on a healer in queue. 13 minutes in. So we'll let that undead or unholy death knight take that stuff. I just want to break these shackles. Currently sitting at 2 hours and 34 minutes into the stream. We have exactly 30 minutes before we end up pulling this. If we even get the dungeon queue 1 minute before queue, I will play it all the way through, just to make sure that we get to see some more content on it, guys. And I'm not sure which one of these I want to go with. We'll just grab one for the hell of it. I'm not going to grab any of them. Ah, looks like we're supposed to have some voice acting there from Cordana coming in. That'll be nice. So, the Maw Souls, again, it looks like it's been nerfed. Might just be the playstyle. This non-mounting zone area really can suck it. I don't like this. Can't run from one point to the other. Automatically dismounts you. I think it's probably a bug and not intended, guys. So, it should fix itself hopefully sooner than later. Go ahead and grab this thing. Showing up on the map as some sort of event item. Oh, requires level 110. What? They're putting in stuff that makes you have to come back? Okay, so I won't end up doing that. I really wish this mount bug wasn't here, because this takes forever.
Join us, Korvath. I was promised.
Well, that was good. Got here just in time.
Can you help my grandfather?
This is really quiet, and it seems like they're starting to do a lot more changing here. I don't know, guys. Questing as a Prot Pally doesn't seem to be as well as it was on live. You may want to end up making sure that you've got your Ret artifacts set up and ready to go also, or just do it as Ret and swap back and forth. Who knows? I'm not 100% sure on how it's going to play out. Again, at Legion, it's alpha, It's still in a lot of testing and a lot of balancing, but the damage does seem lower than it should be. Shouldn't take you a week just to kill one quest mob, well, you know, one name quest mob.
My life is dedicated to destroying the Burning Legion.
So artifact items. Basically, it looks like they're going to give you 2 item levels. And then +1 in a certain spec. And basically what it looks like they've added in on the tooltip what exactly it's going to do. Or what it does under the weapon artifact itself. And if you look, it actually shows +1 rank. Righteous Crusader is all it used to show. And now it's got increases of damage and damage reduction of Shield of the Righteous by 3%. That's pretty cool. And then you've got Heart of the Avenger, increases the damage of Avenger's Shield by 3%. So do you want to do more AoE tanking or do you want to do more single target? I'm going to go ahead and take the damage reduction, guys. I mean, I could end up taking this for the Avenger's Shield, and these are both the same, except one's a Holy Artifact, one's Iron. And I'll show you what that's going to end up implementing into in just a second. But I am going to go, let's do it for the Holy one, and then at Quester's Glory, that's new also. Artifact Power, it gives you 100 Artifact Power, so it looks like questing is going to be pretty nice on getting Artifact Power also, guys. That's going to work out wonderful considering they took away the big gems for filling out Artifact Power in dungeons.
There is much to be done. Kane,
We'll go ahead and
the Legion is attacking.
use that thing.
I'll meet you up there.
We can shift right click this and add it at any time. And it, oh, okay, that's nice. It shows and lights up exactly which spot you're going to be at. So drop that in there and boom, it gives you the +1 onto it. You still get your 3 that you can normally put up, so this could increase it to a 4th level. And that's just a basic green one that I'm getting from questing. And as you can see, there's a holy slot, you've got your iron slot, and it looks like there's an arcane slot that they're waiting for, but you have to complete a quest line to end up getting to it. So very nice on that 3rd set. And again, that artifact power did not give us enough to do jack diddly squat to get further up. They actually increased the cost from the looks of it too. Looks like we got to run up to this Azure Wing post. I'm really hoping that this dungeon queue goes off pretty quick, guys. We're at 20 minutes, just waiting on a healer. As soon as we end up getting that healer, hopefully it's a good enough run and we can end up running through it. If we even get, we're about 23 minutes away from quitting time, but if we end up getting to even 1 minute before this, the noon o'clock hour for my time, we'll end up running the whole entire dungeon all the way through. And good morning or afternoon now, viewers, or evening, wherever you're at. If you have any questions, go ahead and toss them in. We've already gone over the artifact quest. We've done the basics on the class hall, which is getting a nice needed improvement. I need my GPS hooked up because I'm going the wrong direction. And the artifact skins, which once I get this all rendered and put up, you guys can come back through and look at it, but it's looking amazing. Probably the best. I'm going to actually throw it out there and say it's the best looking set of shields I've seen ever in this game. It looks really good. Probably some of the best skins. I can't say much more on that except for keep a lookout and I will have this thing posted up. Man, I need to learn how to drive. I'm going to stop and ask this bear for directions because I can't go the right direction. Just one more tank inspect to go, and I'll get out the alpha tanking build for this current setup. Oh wow! I know I got here before, but it looks like they did a little bit more color into this area.
What is happening?
That is super bright and looks good.
Useful one approach. I am not as dead as I look.
Some good voice acting in it too. Really good looking area. It's really bright though. Kind of hurts eyes.
Power, but using it wisely is the key. Where you lead, we will follow.
I know why you are here, small one.
It's an amazing looking dragon.
Hell,
Gotta collect 6 crackling layworm cores. Random text. And here it is. Wonder if they're gonna drop one after the other, make this faster, if it's gonna be a huge grind. Still waiting on one healer. 23 minutes into the queue. Oh yeah, they have updated it 100%. I mean, the art team has done a fantastic job all the way through and through. They're still working on some stuff like the coat. They went through, and I don't know if you can see this, but they redid the helmets. For a while, you weren't able to use them, and they set it up to where it's shaping to the character's head a bit better. So you can actually use your helmet, and it still looks really good. And I've tested this out on a couple different classes, but the art team does deserve a medal for this, because what it was before was horrendous. You threw a helm on, if it didn't fit, you had to turn it back off because it was just that bad. But they've made it to where it looks a lot better. I believe they're doing the same thing with the cloak, and there's our dungeon queue. But currently the cloak still has issues where it's clipping, like the shields and all that. So maybe they'll get that one fixed. But they're doing small little stuff like that, and it really changes it up. And the Halls of Valor, we've seen this a ton of times.
noble champions to enter my realm.
This will be an easy one. We're going to tear through this. It's actually the same Pally healer we had too. Good game. So I'm going to just go ahead and pull this like a crazy, because this stuff is fairly simple. Maybe we'll get these Shadow Priests on par. Probably we're still loading in or something. Yeah, they had some really really fugly models. So taking exactly no damage at all. And again, this is the same healer we had in the last dungeon. Just so happened to get him again.
I need a target.
Things seem to be dying a bit better, so our DPS is a little more spot on. So, the damage reductions. Pally's really got it, and I think a lot of it has to do with their block. They do still have Holy Shield, which increases your block by 10%, allows you to block spells. And it's helping a lot. So basically, instead of having all that healing, they did end up smoothing out the damage a bit more. So, a little bit more on the play side. Kind of makes me wonder how they're doing Prot Warrior, because they keep sticking to all this, using it as the class. You know, the class fantasy. That's the exact words that they use. And it seems to be that way. You're doing very little healing for holy. You're doing a lot of holy damage. And it seems like, all in all, it's basically a holy tank yet again. Instead of just being another tank, it's a holy tank. So kind of glad they're sticking with that. Last time I was in here, this was broken. You'd see the Drake go down one aisle and it would actually put the fire down the other. Let's see if it's still broke. Yeah, it's still broke. See that dragon in the far back there, he ended up being in the far lane and he went to the lane next to it. If they could adjust this just a little bit on this Light of the Protector, maybe do it about X amount of damage taken, kind of like how Death Strike is. That might be a bit better. But currently, this 25% of where your damage is at, it does give it its own flair, but I don't know, it just seems weak. So even though this Drake Rider's coming here, he's not going to shoot the flame down here. He's going to go to the one next to it. Look at that. This boss feels like it's taken a really long time to kill. There we go. Shadow Priest has hit Void form. Alright, we're gonna pop, see if we can get some extra damage. It's really taking a long time here. Combat Rogue, 2 Shadow Priests. Oh, I'm sorry, not Combat. Outlaw, I think that's what that is. Really weird trying to figure out where this is at since they're not going down the right path. Looks like it's fixed to be a soft enrage now too. Just keeps building more and more of the dragons. So the damage is real smooth, guys. I just wish... again, our damage seems really low. Heals is almost out of health. There it is. Looked like he enraged last second there. That's not good. Damage should not be that low. Hopefully people know how to dance.
It's too far away. I need a target.
Let the healer get some mana real fast. So far, it's playing out pretty good. I mean, it's basically a Pally being a Pally. Nothing I can really do about that. The class is playing as it should. With the class fantasy, the abilities look good. The new judgment looks really nice. Consecrate, basically just literally pulling light from the heavens and dropping it down. Real smooth on the damage intake. I mean, very smooth on damage intake. It doesn't seem like it's taken damage hardly at all. A lot of that seems to be from Shield of the Righteous. Currently it's doing 64% damage reduction. So keeping that play in is just... seems like it's scaled pretty high for a mastery right now. Especially with Judgment giving it a chance to reset a cooldown. 3 charges. That's pretty insane. Almost no damage taken at all through that. We did use the Eye of Tyr, which is the cooldown and from your weapon, and basically it does a blinding flash, does damage, and then 25% reduction from all enemies for 9 seconds. You know, it's a little simple pull. Looked like Shield had a new look there too. I haven't been paying much attention. Love that hammer. And then yeah, Shield does have a new look. Kind of looks like Johanna's shield from Heroes of the Storm. This rogue standing in the middle of that stuff. I couldn't move it. Almost died. Glad they changed that ability a little bit because it was pretty punishing.
It's too far away.
Oh, and there's the punishment. Yeah, that was dangerous. It's okay. We'll get that taken care of. Pretty simple gameplay. If you like Prot Pally on live, it'll more than likely be what you're looking for. Right now, it just seems it seems good. I mean, the balance is good. I can see to where Mastery is definitely going to take the cake for this spec. As you can see, currently sitting at 57% damage reduction with it. Cast Shield, you get an increase. So, 48%. So basically, as you end up getting procs, it can end up doing a lot. But 48% seems to be my base, my lowest one. So almost 50% damage reduction over what, 4.5 seconds. It seems pretty nice. And then if you get trinkets at proc it, just even more damage reduction.
Deeds of courage and valor. Persia has earned this most sacred of rights. She shall ascend.
Now, the main part about it is I'm using it more as a DPS cooldown, and I should be using it for a damage cooldown instead. So that's something to keep in mind also. Again, I play one on live, but I don't actually raid tank as one. I just beat up heroic dungeons with it. Do some challenge modes, but nothing really too fantastic.
Their kind has no true honor, no true virtue.
I will purge them from these sacred halls myself.
The ritual is not yet complete. Deal with the interlopers.
Pretty solid choice so far. I mean, there's no damage going out. If you end up watching up here, you can see the incoming heals, but it's all dodge, block, or parry. Good reduction. I can see to where avoidance tanks are probably going to be on the lower side if they keep that up there quite a bit. Beginning at least. End game might change. Multiple targets, this thing has no problems. Bosses, it really has no problems. Hoping these guys know the fight. They're about to take a huge amount of damage. I think the Pally is doing it just to increase its healing. Showing off. Either that or I've got him bored, one of the two.
I can't attack that.
Persia, the fury of the storm is yours to command.
Level 103 and it has almost as much health as I do. So, yeah, I might be a little bored in here because this is a level 100 dungeon. There is no scaling. It just leaves you where you're at. And at a 680 item level, this doesn't seem like it's doing shit for damage. Just way too simple.
I will not fail you, Aegir!
not having Crusader Strike, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of takes away some of the flavor. But you know, your rotation's basically the same between single target and AOE now, as where you kind of had that. Okay, do I want to use Crusader Strike or do I want to use Hammer? And it doesn't have a cooldown at all, so you're just 1.4 second, 2-second cooldown, guys. So basically makes it spammable. The skill cap on it seems to have dropped quite a bit. There's not much damage going out. It does seem a bit boring, personally, because I'm literally taking no damage. We'll go ahead and swap sides here after this next bubble. We'll prep up, it'll knock me back. There we go. And a free ride to the other side. There we go. That protector actually worked pretty good when I was about sub 30% health. Actually gave a decent heal. Go ahead and stand over here, block these little beams. Actually do this fight the way it's intended. Damage is pretty low, so I don't think we're going to be able to burn it down fast enough. Then we'll take the express again, just to the other side. This is the way this fight was intended, guys. I know in a couple of my other videos you see me just stacking on the one side. And if the damage is good enough, you can get away with it. But right now, not so much. Damage is a little low. So figure I'd just play it the way it's supposed to be done. The way you're probably going to have to do it on Heroic and, you know, if you plan on doing challenge mode 5-mans. Which is basically the way they're doing it is turning into almost a Diablo style 5-man dungeon grind. Just progressively getting harder and harder and harder. Which, it's not a bad thing. It gives you that 5-man progression and you can get some pretty decent gear out of it. So that's going to be a way of gearing up. You've got your regular raiding, which is a way of gearing up. Which your raids look really good so far. At least a few bosses that I've tested. It's really shaping out to be a good expansion. Lots to do. Bringing back some sort of talent tree. We're gonna wait for this Pat and just grab him first, just to be on the safe side. Or not. Guy for some reason will not go in front of me. He wants to stay behind me. That's never a good thing because you can't block, dodge, or parry while they're standing behind you. We're gonna wait on him. Different time, we should be able to pull these two to the corner. Looks like we got it anyways. Hopefully people are good at dodging lines. Yeah, nowhere near the amount of damage that it was putting out before. But, again, it may be the class. I do have, the Holy Shield on, and I think, any spell, you still got a chance of blocking. So I don't know if that's direct spells or if that'll actually work with AoE effects, kind of like that crackling line. But the damage is really low. The damage taken, I should say, is really low compared to some of them. So we got a couple stags in here. And, this damage has been reduced. Or it's just, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but it may just be the class. I was in here just the other day on the Death Knight, and it seemed like I pulled a few of those, and it did get hit a bit harder, but you know, the self-healing ended up making it very easy. Yeah, very smooth damage intake. The last few times I've been in here also, he's been stagnant in one position, so I wonder if they finally gave him a fixed area. So, Fenrir's turning into a demon hunter. Starting to get tattoos. That's something new. Damage is very low. I really wish we had a bit more of a push here. Because this isn't even the hard part. This is just the first, you know, the first section of it. He's going to run away, and then we're going to get another one. All right.
I'm out of range.
And as you can see, the healer's standing there basically AFK, so not really taking much of anything for damage.
I don't have a target.
Did they fix the bridge? Can you walk across it? Alright, there was a deal where every time you try and walk across this bridge, it would, you'd fall through it. These wolves usually do some pretty insane damage. We'll see how well we do against them. And yeah, there's basically nothing coming out of these. I'm gonna get a little stupid here and pull some more.
It's too far away.
3 of them currently. Yeah, very smooth damage on the Prot Pally, guys. It feels good. Seems like it's doing good. The play's alright. A little boring. And I guess it's because you're not living on the seat of your pants, trying to stay alive. But it feels good. I mean, the play itself is not much different than what it is on live. Pally's bored, so it's running wherever the hell it wants to. Damage is very, and again, they may have done some more tuning, but I really think it's just the class. But it's very smooth. Not much damage taken at all. We're going to go ahead and pop our wings here, though. And see if we can put a little more on.
I need to get closer. It's too far away.
There we go. Actually act like we care. Pick up this extra mob and take a little more damage. Also got a stack of the debuff. Gotta try something because right now there's not anything really going out. Especially out on the boss. Very weak damage. Seemed to be the same way with the Ma Souls dungeon that we did. Just taking forever. Or they might have buffed their hit points. Who knows? His soft and rage mechanic, I bet the healer's starting to feel it now. Even though the mana's still there and it's pretty good. The soft and rage with this blood dot going across the entire room is eventually going to kick in and really cause an issue.
I'm out of range.
I did end up on my blood DK video. Now this is where the difference lies. This was one of the bosses. The healer died right off the bat, got chewed up on this second part. And I believe it turned out to be me and one other DPS. Might have been 2 on this one. And then the next boss, same difference. The healer died real soon. And there's the bridge issue. But the Blood Death Knight, I didn't need a healer. I really didn't. I went through this whole place, and it was absolutely ridiculous on how much self-healing was going on and how well it was doing. But to finish that boss off, I literally had no healer from about 35 to 50% roughly. I know that's kind of a big ballpark, but it's a lot of health. It was a lot of damage you end up taking, and it just healed right through it. Oh, gotta go back and save the Pally.
closer.
Maybe they'll come back. Of course not. Why expect DPS to do anything? Man, they're gonna stand there and twiddle their thumbs more than likely, as it takes us forever to try and kill this thing. Pop wings, screw it. I've gone on this rant before. People just not wanting to participate and stuff. This is half of it. Why would you stand there and not do anything when you could, you know, actually play the game? There we go. We got one of them, and there's the rest. Oh, man. I really did not expect that to happen. That's the second time I've had that happen, to where Judgment just goes flying off into Never Never Land. Alright, I'll get this pull taken care of. Gonna range pull it back. Or not. People always get too pushy. I wish they would do that on the bosses. Seems like our whole group is just AoE spec'd. That might be one of the reasons. Oh, hey, we'll go ahead and equip that. Few good items that we ended up getting that I didn't even notice. Let's see if this is still a pain in the ass pull and get both of them.
I'm out of range.
Sure do. A lot of dancing here. The speed boost you get from killing the first two bosses, or sorry, the two bosses on each end of the hall, it helps out a lot trying to dodge them, but still, it's not 100%. It's really hard with two.
I'm out of range. I need to target something.
And there's that. Seems like they reduced those guys' health just a little bit so they aren't up for so long. But good game. We're heading up to the top. We've got 2 more bosses to do. Currently been streaming 3 hours and 22 minutes. Extremely solid choice in the Prot Pally. Very smooth damage intake. And then really, I haven't used the artifact ability too much because of the smoothness in the actual damage intake. So hopefully we get something that kind of blisters us, but I don't think it's going to happen in this dungeon. A few cooldowns having to be used.
Some anguish will echo through eternity.
wanted to see if the rogue would interrupt instead of me having to do it every time, but it looks like I'm going to have to cover. Yeah, that heal does pretty decent when you're lower. It's not too bad, guys. The single target damage is an issue though. Looks like all our DPS are spec for AoE, and again, the artifact is your main area for that, but your talents, they have really chosen, would you like AoE or would you like single target? Prep up to end up doing this interrupt again. Gonna have to catch it quick. There we go. And I wasted it on the wrong ability. Good job. Oh, somebody got it. Probably the Pally. The healer. They still have an interrupt, I believe.
It's too far away.
Hopefully they kill the ad.
I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Yeah, no one's really killing the ad here.
I need to get closer. It's too far away.
Holy cow.
To the victor go the spoil.
Ads. Always ads before the main target, guys. I mean, we wouldn't have had to kite at all if they would have turned in focus, but tunnel vision. People are still learning. It is alpha. It's all brand new content. I'm not putting that out as any speculation. So just something to keep on, but the damage is the damage was pretty low. So this fight should be interesting. Hopefully they know to get behind the shield. If not, this will be really entertaining. This is also one of the ones that I ended up taking from about 50% on and tanked it all by myself.
Or die!
Here it comes, and everybody's going to end up running outside. There we are. Now for the real challenge.
The Aegis goes to its rightful owner!
Standing in fire is always a positive. Not as strong as the Death Knight when it comes to survivability. Not gonna lie on that one. As long as you got a healer, it can sustain much better. But overall survivability, I think the Blood Death Knight's got it. Very slow walk of shame. Actually, very fast. Usable while indoors, right? Okay, everyone can read this. It's not letting me use it indoors. Ground mounts are not allowed in here, so this thing is completely broken. So, good game with that one. See if people get behind me this time. Weird as hell. Looks like it's bugged.
I need to get closer.
The Aegis goes to its rightful owner!
I'm out of range.
Yeah, I'd use cooldowns, but I don't want this to take forever. The damage is already low enough.
You overestimated your skill. No one stands in my way.
For some reason, we're having more issues than we should with this this boss. He's really simple. Maybe they just don't know the stack behind. Toss it out there. Maybe we'll get a little less tunnel vision and get some work on it. Shouldn't have this kind of issue though. The boss's mechanics are very simple. Just stay out of fire, spread out, and then stack behind the tank or whoever's got the shield up during Ragnarok to reduce the damage. And then you got to DPS the boss from behind, end up making him drop the shield, and good to go. Rinse, repeat. Simplest boss in here. Alright. Round 3. Third time's a charm, hopefully. And they're all still getting a hit for some damn reason.
It's too far away.
Now the Aegis is where it belongs.
I'm out of range.
Not sure what's going on. Possible bug.
Little more than a nuisance. No one stands in my way.
we'll see where this ends up going. If it still ends up murdering him, then yeah, we'll see what he's got.
Or die! Little more than a burn for me!
Seems really broken.
You overestimated your skill. The power is mine!
It's too far away.
Well, so much for that. Seems like this is having an issue. I don't think it's anything anyone's doing. It's just Alpha being its normal Alpha.
I need to get closer. It's too far away.
Burn for me!
Alright, step back a little ways. Yeah, it's broke. There's nothing you can do about it. Just really seems like a hard issue.
Now the Aegis is where it belongs!
I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Yeah. This is gonna be fairly broke. I'm gonna just end up dumping this thing. It's broke. Unfortunately, that's the way it ended up turning out. And we're gonna head off, guys. Hopefully that gives you some sort of idea on how this thing's playing. It was a little bit on the stressful side there. They are not as strong as what Blood Death Knights are, though. That's going to be my conclusion on it. I do think that the Blood Death Knight's actually stronger than the Prot Pally, but the Prot Pally has smoother damage. You're not as spiky. Not much different than what's on live, guys. With good control of your Shield of the Righteous, you can definitely end up putting some decent topping of complete damage reduction off of this spec. Well played. If you enjoy it on live, you'll probably enjoy it now. And again, I mean, it's a fun spec. It's seeming pretty good, guys. So I hope that ends up helping out. If it did, enjoy. We're gonna go ahead and cut it now. We are sitting currently at about 30 minutes past what we normally would, but we wanted to get some dungeon time in, and then we had Halls of Valor broke. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'm doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 12, and I've always got videos coming up. So go ahead, give it a like, a subscribe, and we'll get back to it. Guys, enjoy. See you again.